Good morning, everyone. I'm very, very happy to be here this morning, and thank you, Daisy, the Crown Trust team, for putting this powerful forum together so that we can be able to reflect on what is working when it comes to women economic empowerment in Kenya. My name is Wangechi Washira. I work as the Executive Director of CRU. CRU stands for Center for Rights Education and Awareness. And today, when I was coming here, I thought to myself, this meeting is talking about, this powerful forum is talking about women and economic empowerment. And I thought the most practical thing that I can be able to do is to share what, as an organization, we've been doing to support women in their endeavor around women economic empowerment. So the organization that we work for supports women who are survivors of gender-based violence. These are the most vulnerable, the most at risk, and I think the speakers who are here before, I think I heard Janine speak very powerfully around women having money in their hands and making choices when they have that money. So our work, and we know that as an organization, and the data that is in the country, out of 3 women, 1 of them is going through gender-based violence. So in this room, 3 of the women who are seated in this room, 1 of us is likely to be going through gender-based violence. And what does that mean? It means that then we must be able to do something to reach to the women and the young women, even young girls who are going through violence, so that then we can be able to bring change. So as an organization, working very closely with survivors of gender-based violence, we presented them in court. We got very, very good ruling. We did psychosocial support. And then they will come back and ask us, we have very, very good papers from court, but how do we move from here? What do I do with these papers? They look good, the judgment is good, and we must support the legal work that is done in court. So in 2020, when we were navigating COVID, we set the first Women's Survivors Fund in the country, working closely with other women's rights organizations, Roots Kenya, CCGD. Why was that important to be able to set a survivors fund? It's because today, if a woman who is going through violence, then she tells me, where do I go from here? Then there is a place that I can fall back into. So we set this survivors fund, and what we did, we started working with 1,000 women in 10 counties in the country. And what we'll do is to be able to work with them, provide legal support, provide psychosocial support, but also ensure that they're able to free in an environment that is very, very abusive. So we'll do a cash management grant. But we went further because we also want to bring change. And we worked with one of the local banks in the country, and it hosted our fund. When the market rate is offering, what is the current interest rate? Someone in the room? Who has an ongoing facility in the room? How much is the current facility? How much is the banking rate for loans? Someone has said 20, another one has said 27. Wow. And other unhidden costs. So as an organization we thought, then access to credit is a big barrier, and a very, very big barrier. And if it's a survivor of violence, it also means is another layer of barrier because she's freeing an environment that is abusive. She has no title deed. She has no any collateral to be able to be tagged on her. So we set this fund and working with a local bank, and we brought the interest rate at 8%. So when the market is at 19, 20%, we are 8%. And why are we looking at that? We are looking at The 8% is actually not for us to be able to get profit, but to be able to grow the fund so that other women who are survivors of gender-based violence can be able to access this fund. This fund, by its own name, is called Jasiri. We have a local name known as Jasiri. Jasiri is a Swahili name meaning bold. And our boldness is also going further because right now, we are now doing a scale-up of that important work. So beyond the 10 counties, we are now in 16 counties. And it's good that I mentioned the counties so that if you're in that county, then you can be able to refer a survivor of violence so that then they can be able to get the support. So the counties where we are in here in Nairobi County, and I already see our team that is working here. The team from Crew, please wave your hand so that we see you. You see the powerful women on that table? They will tell you about their story of Jasiri, yeah? We are in Kilifi County, we are in Mombasa County, we are in Meru County, we are in Nyeri, we are in Mandera, we are going to the hard to reach, we are in Busia, we are in Kajiado, we are in Kwale, we are in Baringo, we are in Kakamega, we are in Tana River, we are in Kiambu, we are in Garissa, and we are in Bungoma. That's almost half of the country, yeah? Because the country has 47 counties, and we are covering 16 counties. So we are almost getting to the half of the country. And our desire is that in the next 5 years, we are going to work with 26,000 survivors of gender-based violence and young women. We have also increased the fund so that more women can be able to benefit. And our desire, what is it that we are looking for? When women have access to money, they're able to have choices. Isn't it a fact? Yes. When women have money in their hands, they have choices. When women have money on their hands, they have their agency. You know, this country, they keep asking women, what do they bring to the table? We bring ourselves, but also there is something else that we are coming with. Because we have our voice, we have our agency, and we know what we want. So this program is really looking at how do we work with women? How do our women have choices? How do our women also be able to get to a place that they can be able to say, I have something that they're bringing to the table? But also important is that we are looking that this fund will continue to be below, it's going to continue to be 1 digit. What does 1 digit mean? 1 digit means that that credit is accessible, is that once you borrow, you have a grace period, depending on the size of the facility, and you can be able to get from 20,000 to 1 million Kenya shillings. Sio itajenga biashara. Sio itajenga biashara. And women can be in a better place. But also is that beyond the money, there is mentorship. Very, very important. That beyond that, that the women will continue to get legal, psychosocial support. They will be able to continue getting skilling, which is very, very critical. And our target here, we are working with 18 to 35. You may say that this is discrimination, but don't we have affirmative action within affirmative action? It is important because we acknowledge that young women in this country has been difficult for them to get into employment, and employment that is dignifying, that they can be able to get to a job that they can say it is reputable, it's respectful, and when I stand even in front of my family members, I can be able to say that the job that I wake up to do in the morning, it's very, very reputable. This is exciting, and I know I can go on and on. But before I conclude, when we talk about women economic empowerment, for us, we are also looking at how do we address issues of sexual violence in the world of work. A number of women, because of sexual harassment, they keep navigating. What must we be able to do to bring change in the world of work? Is it policy? Is it system and structures? I think there is work that needs to be done. When you talk about women and work, are we talking about unpaid work? Do we acknowledge, do you know what is unpaid work? Every time when we leave at work in the evening, What do we go to do home? There is another unpaid work. We want that work to be acknowledged. We want it to be redistributed. We want it to be remunerated. We also want it to be co-shared so that women can have additional time so that they can also be able to engage in productive and where they're able to have money. Because we have said when women have money on their hands, they have their voice. Please remember this. When women have money, they have what? They have their voice, they have their agency, and what else? And they have choices. Those are the three words that I'm going to leave you with. And looking forward, if you're in a county that I have mentioned, and you have young women between the age of 18 to 35 who are looking for support, we are here, and you'll also be able to hear testimony from the team that we've been working with. We have women who've been able to come with us, but also very, very important, we have a team from crew who've been part of supporting this forum. So once again, Daisy and your team, thank you for putting this event together, and really looking forward to learning, to unlearning, and strengthening our work and our partnership. Thank you, and God bless you.